Every zero point 0.7 seconds, a beam of radiation sweeps across the universe like a cosmic lighthouse. Precise, relentless, more accurate than any clock humanity has ever built. That's a pulsar, and right now, I'm putting Earth in orbit around one. Stay with me, because what life would actually look like under a pulsar's light is not what kills you first. It's what happens to time itself that changes everything. But first, your question today. If Earth orbited a pulsar, do you think the rhythmic radiation pulses would eventually synchronize with biological cycles on Earth, or would they destroy all life first? Drop your answer in the comments. New here? Subscribe now, because this is where physics gets alive. Imagine growing up on this Earth. The sky doesn't have a sun in any sense you'd recognize. Instead, every 0.7 seconds, the entire sky flashes white. Not gently, blindingly. A pulse of X-ray radiation and electromagnetic energy sweeping through your world with metronomic precision. Your entire civilization has built itself around this rhythm. Architecture designed to shield against the pulse. Underground cities as standard, not luxury. Every building with meter-thick radiation shielding built into its walls. Children learn to count not in seconds, but in pulses. A minute isn't 60 seconds. It's 85 pulses. Time itself, measured by the heartbeat of a dead star. Here's what you're orbiting. A pulsar is a neutron star, the collapsed remnant of a massive star that exploded as a supernova. It has roughly 1.4 times the mass of our sun, compressed into a sphere about 20 kilometers across, the size of a city, with the mass of a star. Its density is so extreme that a teaspoon of its material would weigh approximately 1 billion tons on Earth. As it collapsed, it began spinning incredibly fast. Some pulsars rotate 700 times per second, and because its magnetic field is concentrated into 2 beams, those beams sweep the universe like a lighthouse with every rotation. The radiation those beams carry, primarily X-rays and gamma rays, is what makes a pulsar's neighborhood the most hostile environment in the known universe for life as we understand it. At Earth's current orbital distance, the radiation from a pulsar would strip the ozone layer completely within years. Every 0.7 seconds, another pulse delivering radiation doses that accumulate faster than any biological repair mechanism can handle. Surface life, impossible. But here's where the story gets interesting. Deep underground, shielded by kilometers of rock, the pulse becomes something different, not lethal, rhythmic. A faint vibration through solid rock every 0.7 seconds. So precise that the earliest underground civilizations on this Earth used it as their calendar, their clock, their most sacred measurement. And the evolution of life underground, over millions of years, produced organisms with biological rhythms tuned to 0.7 seconds. Not circadian rhythms tied to a 24-hour day. Pulsar rhythms, heartbeats, breathing cycles, sleep patterns. All multiples of 0.7 seconds, a biology built around the rotation of a dead star. Now, here's what changes how you think about this entire scenario. In 1992, astronomers discovered the first confirmed planets orbiting a pulsar, not a normal star, a pulsar, PSR 1257 plus 12, a pulsar 2,300 light-years away, has at least 3 planets in orbit around it. Real planets, rocky worlds, orbiting a dead, spinning, radiation-blasting neutron star. We don't know if anything lives there, but we know the planets exist, which means the universe doesn't require a gentle yellow sun to build a planetary system. It builds them around almost anything, with enough gravity to hold things in orbit. And the question that nobody can definitively answer is whether the planets around PSR 1257 plus 12 had life on them before their star exploded, before the supernova that created the pulsar sterilized everything, and whether, in the billions of years since, anything has started again, underground, shielded, counting pulses in the dark, waiting for a sky it will never see.